Wednesday. It's Lauren here at Inspirational Goods with another episode of Quotes to Live By, where I pick a quote each week just to give you something positive to think about for your life, maybe something motivational or inspirational. And this week I just picked a very simple quote, something for you to just think about and make you feel a little bit better about making hard decisions and moving on. And this quote is not attributed to anyone. I couldn't find it anywhere, but I just loved what it said. It was very simple and a good reminder for us. So the quote goes, "It's okay that you don't know how to move on. Start with something easier, like not going back." And I just like that simplicity of that quote because sometimes I think we get so caught up with the stress of making a change and knowing that we have to move on from a given situation, and we're looking for that next step. What are we doing next? Oh my gosh, I have to make a huge change and a huge leap to get out of my current situation and do something new. But I think sometimes the simplest and best thing that we have to realize and ease our mind is that you can move on just by not going back to the same behaviors and habits or thing that it was that you need to move on from. And just by starting that new day, by not going back to that specific thing, that's a step in the right direction. And I think we overcomplicate things by thinking that we have to do a drastic measure or replace the old habit or replace the old thing with something new. And it's just as simple of moving on as just not going back to it. Start there. Start with the simplicity of that. And I think that when we think of it that way of moving on, just being not repeating that past behavior or not repeating that same thing or something that we're trying to move on from, I think it'll make us feel less anxious and make it a little bit easier every day to just think about it a little bit differently, or maybe add on slowly versus thinking and being overwhelmed with the drastic change that we think we have to make. So just remember, moving on can just be not going back. It doesn't have to be a drastic thing. If you want to create positive change in your life, just stop going back to the old habit, and that's enough. That's enough. And little by little, you can go and move on and add to that and figure out what your next move is and figure out, what you're supposed to be doing next. Sometimes if we just quiet our minds, that's when the best ideas, and we have kind of that sixth sense and we just know, our gut knows what we're supposed to do next. So hopefully this was just a little simple reminder for you today to let go of the expectations of replacing one thing with another big change. And just the simplicity of just staying with not going back to something, and then releasing that previous experience slowly. So thank you as always for tuning in to our Quotes to Live By, and I look forward to seeing you again next week with another episode. Bye everyone. Take care.